I knew I had made the right choice from about 5 minutes into my very first class. It was a class with Dr. Rick Johnson, and he was talking about the qualities of a counselor, like open-heartedness and authenticity. And I thought, there's a career where you get to be like that, and that's your job, is to be like that. And I knew I'd found the right place.
Right away in that first fall term, when we started learning about education theory and kind of how education was structured historically in this country, I, as a healthcare provider, had never had formal education in education or formal education on how to educate others, yet I was doing it every day. And so I remember learning different principles about student learning theory and things of that nature, and I remember thinking, wow, this is what I do every day, and now I'm getting to see the theory behind it. So it was almost kind of reverse, where I was like doing it for a while, and then all of a sudden I got some of the knowledge about it later on. And I remember just being so excited to A, be part of the program, and B, realize that I had made the right choice, because I was now all of a sudden learning the concepts behind what I had been doing for a number of years. And I thought, wow, this is exactly where I need to be.
For me, I think what was incredibly impressive and meaningful was that there was a bridge for learning from K-12 to post-secondary, and that's kind of the missing link, I think, that we have in education right now.
I had the opportunity to go to a service learning in India with Professor Kress as the administrator for that. And it was a transformational experience, to say the least. I was able to actively engage in the private and the public educational system. I was also able to really actively engage in the NGO visits. And with that, it truly developed a different lens that I had inside myself that I didn't realize was there. And what came out when I came back to the States was a true value and appreciation for diversity here within our children and education system.
I am taking away so much that's just going straight into my work. And it made me feel, doing the PACE program made me feel like, oh, now I have an opinion, and I have a direction, and I have a vision, and I know what needs to happen. And something that I would have been completely floundering in before, I feel like I totally know what I want to do with this because of what I learned in the PACE program.
Okay, the most surprising thing I encountered was how I didn't really know what my skill level was until we started to supervise. And then we started to supervise, I started to notice things that I didn't know that I knew. And that was really surprising, where just in those 2 quarters, you're really able to implement and understand some of the fundamentals that go into the work that we do.
One experience was when I took a class through the LSE, which is Leadership and Sustainability Education, and I didn't really know what to expect for it. Like the kind of course description was talking about being able to combine your morals, your values, and things like that. And to me, that's always my greatest part, right? Is like the holistic education approach. And there was a lot of like meditation and like deep reflections and things, like a lot of symbolism and things that I had never experienced, especially within the education system. And I was a little hesitant at first and kind of confused as like how this is going to play out. And it actually turned out to be some of the most amazing, mind-blowing, beautiful conversations I've ever had. And I mean, class after class, I would just walk away just kind of like staring into space, like, did I really like get that far into thinking and things? And so I think that's been the best part about it, is being able to take classes from other parts and not feeling so boxed into one course study. I remember when the class ended, I actually cried, and I had no idea why. And I called my family, and I was like, finished my last class and my mom was like, is everything okay? I'm like, I'm crying, but I don't know why. Like, so when we're talking about like forming that, you know, that unity, that community, and being able to explore in that way and grow, that was the best part of it.
I had a 5th grader, and he was reading at a 2nd grade level, and we didn't find out until like the first 2 weeks of school. My gen ed teacher and my sped teacher advocated for him and got a team together, and we assessed the situation, assessed him, and then he finally he was eligible for an IEP, and the mom was on board, and that took a while, but I would have to say that was the most memorable. And now he's up to 3rd grade reading level in 6th grade. I know it's not much, but I think it's a lot for me personally. So good. Sorry, that was the most memorable moment. So.
You feel like you're separated when you start into these different cohorts. You know, you have school and marriage and family and voc rehab and mental health. But then when you get into the 2nd year and in the practicum, you don't have just vocational clients that come in or just marriage and family. You know, there's a diverse base of people who need help out there, and you have a diverse, you know, practicum is not all about just one cohort. It's a diverse practicum. So, you know, we're all culturally competent, and it was an amazing experience to be able to mix and match and to, you know, help people from all different backgrounds and all different walks of life and different age groups and going through different things. I mean, that was an amazing experience.
The first day I actually taught my own lesson was very nerve-wracking, and that was when I had to teach my first ETB lesson in January. I was so nervous. I had to call my mom to calm me down because I was out in the hallway, about to cry. I was completely stressed out, not stressed out, but nervous because I was afraid that it wasn't gonna go well and that it was just gonna be a complete disaster since this was my own work that I was kind of teaching. I feel bad because I had to sit there a lot for 20 and 30 minutes to sit there. But then after that, they started working together, and actually a lot of the videos that 2 videos I used for TPA, I used from the first lesson because it went well after the students kind of started doing their own thing.
I was assigned a student, nonverbal, and just recently he started talking and he said, "Miss Ochoa, I can do it." Just working with him in general has been quite an experience, and an experience that I will never forget.
You know, it's funny because, you know, your final comprehensive kind of portfolio is supposed to be this thing that allows you to look back on your experience, and I think for me, I wasn't expecting it to really make that impact, to actually have that, you know, let's go through and look back over all of the learning objectives of the program and kind of why you started this in the first place, and figure out where you are now. But it was that, I think, actually was the moment for me of putting together my final comprehensive portfolio and just looking at the learning objectives and really thinking back through, God, what is everything that I've done in this program, and what were the most key pivotal moments for me, and then seeing that all in one place and being like, wow, awesome! I was able to do some really cool stuff during this, during my 2.5 years that I did the program.
To be walking away with a master's degree and to be crossing the stage and entering this whole new era and entering your own classroom in whatever capacity that is, I just think that people should take a tremendous amount of pride in what they've accomplished, but stay hungry, stay motivated, don't stop now. The learning doesn't stop now, the growth doesn't stop now. Every single day that you walk through those doors and your students walk through those doors, you have a responsibility to always be growing, to always be learning from them just like you expect them to be learning from you. It's an exciting time, and I think that it's a good time to look back and be proud of what you've accomplished, but never lose sight of why you're there in the first place and why you started at the GSE.